Market is down quite heavily today, about 1.5% here as I record this video. Tonight in this presentation, we're going to talk about the island down gap just appeared here on the S&P. And this is the down gap. This is the reversal pattern. If this gap does not get filled, things could get much more hectic. And all of this coming up right now. All right, so looking at the 65-minute chart here, as you can see, we have an island down gap. The island down gap is one of the most lethal down gaps in the down gap family. So when you see the island gap happening, as you can see here, this is an up gap, right? And this is a down gap. So that there's a spacing through, right? There's space through. So this entire thing right here is an island. So that this island top reversal signal is known as island down gap. And with that, with this down gap, as you can see, we are now back below my short-term moving average. The short-term moving average right here, as you can see, the short-term moving average did act as support last week or earlier this week. And then you can see we gapped just right underneath it. We'll not have to capture it. Micro term has been lost here. And you might wonder, well, okay, we did see island down gap last time, but quickly it was nullified and got filled. So if you're wondering, because I remember I was analyzing this, this was an island down gap here. You can see there was this up gap right here, right? And then a couple days later we saw down gap. So this entire thing was an island down gap, island top reversal signal. So as you can see though, the difference was, you see we saw first hour downturn, and then on the second hour, short-term moving average was right there. And we did see the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth hour advancement. And what happened was it filled almost 50% of that island gap. And the next day we came down, got right back up, completely filled that island gap. And then what happened was when the gap gets filled, it's gonna act as resistance, came back down, a little double bottom, and we thrusted above it. Today, things are a little bit different here. You can see that short-term moving average that has been acting as a strong support right here. Here, it is no longer acting as support. Rather, it is now trading beneath that short-term moving average. That means if we do see any sort of pop here, maybe even tomorrow, some sort of oversold, micro-term oversold bounce, what's gonna happen is that short-term moving average that has been acting as support could act as new resistance. Not to mention, we also have a micro-term coming down. The island down gap still open. So as long as this island gap remains, as long as we're beneath the micro-term and short-term moving average, we want to give benefit of the doubt to the sellers. So as you can see, this is the first hour right here. As I zoom in here, we can see the first hour. This is different than last time when we did see that island down gap that got filled and nullified. This time around, when we did see that island gap, as you can see right here, we tanked on the first hour, we tanked on the second hour, we tanked on the third hour, fourth hour, fifth hour. This is the last hour as I record this video. It's been tanking all day long. We're not seeing any kind of support because there are no other moving averages there. We've broken below the short-term moving average. And this is what I talked about because we've witnessed there's some bearish divergence and things like that, which I've tweeted out that 447 is likely scenario. As you can see right here, that the 447 is a recent up gap area. Do you see this up gap? That's where that 447 is. My midterm moving average is just underneath that 447. So you can see it next supported area is 447 or so and 446. We have the midterm moving average there, the blue dotted moving average. We have that up gap area. So that's going to be the stronger level of support. And I believe that, we may continue to see that decline. And as you can see, we have not retested midterm moving average quite some time. Last time it did that was back in late May. high. So it's been 2 full months that we've retested that midterm moving average. So maybe the price wants to go back there, go back down and retested this. And keep in mind the last time, again, late May, when we did retest that midterm moving average, this was when it started trading at 410 or so after the island okay, which we talked about. We did see a very, very big move afterwards. And keep in mind though that that oscillator, as you can see, we have not gotten to this level in quite some time. So you can see oscillators was rather floaty, right? I mean, we did see the oscillator oscillating back and forth at the you know what I'm saying, but bears they were not able to, the bears were not able to bring that oscillator all the way to the bottom of its band. And again, that's since late May. And so it looks like this time around, bears wanna bring that oscillator close to the extreme oversold level, as you can see in late April, late May. And this is gonna be the first time it looks like the bear's gonna bring it. So it looks like today's downturn with the island down gap. And I also talked about the fact that there's a daily divergences, which I wrote an article about. There are charts there, you can go and look. So with the daily bearish divergences on the oscillator, we got the island down gap. We lost the short-term moving average today. We're below the micro term on the 65-minute chart. And the oscillator is curling or continues to see weakness here. 447 is the next support, midterm moving average in that vicinity. If bears really want to hit this up, we do have a 447, 445 up gap here. We got a secondary up gap, which has not been as 442. And we do have a long-term moving average in that vicinity. Perfect. So midterm, long-term, 440, 447 midterm, 442 long-term gap area. That area definitely going to provide some support. Should there be, again, any sort of any sort of bounce, short-term moving average and the micro-term moving average up here, as you can see right here, those moving averages is going to act as new resistance.